Alright, so it's your boy J Book, and I'm learning how to communicate in 24. Communicating in 24, I learned communication is very hard, and I also did not know how to communicate. So I got a couple stories. So we're gonna start with the first one. The first one is when I was a president at orgs at my university in college, and I learned I would do things and not let people know, and people had a problem with it because I wasn't letting them know. And I was like, well, y'all just should know. But I'm like, how would they know if I did not tell them? Problem number one, I was not communicating well, and like that was, I guess that was my downfall whenever I was president, because I was communicating. And I'm like, bro, y'all don't want to do anything anyway, so like, why do I have to communicate? But that's not how that works. Like, granted, you know. I feel like I had a reason not to communicate, but that's not okay. Like, I should have been communicating. So I learned, like, I need to communicate. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this. Oh, you're doing this. Great. Like, I think I didn't communicate as well because I didn't want the no. I didn't want to hear a no. Like, I'm not gonna tell you anything because I'm not gonna try to hear no. But that's not how that worked. Or it might not have been no. But since I didn't ask, then it was more of a bigger problem because I didn't want to hear that rejection of a no. And I think that's really helped me learn how to communicate. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this XYZ. So can you help me? Or I'm gonna do this XYZ. Can you help me? Or I'm gonna do this XYZ. Can you help me? And now that I'm learning how to communicate, I see that my relationships are getting better, and I see that people are wanting to work more with me because I am communicating. And that just goes to like in 24, because I'm learning, like, even with my family and with my girlfriend. I just go with my girlfriend because I remember I was upset and I didn't want to talk. Usually when I'm upset, I just stop talking. Like, I'm not talking anymore. But I realized that does not help the relationship at all. I feel like that actually worsens the relationship because you're not talking 5, 4, 3 days later. You still on the same thing. Because I'm like, okay, I'm ready to talk 5, 4, 3, 4, 5 days later, and the situation still, so it's a strained relationship, and they still mad, and you're still mad for 5, 4 days. So 5, 4 days, you could have talked about it. In the day, you could have talked about it. You could have been over it. In five, you could be talking about something else. But 4 days, you're still saying about the same thing, and you probably got worse. Like, how dare someone not talk to me for 5, 4 days, or X, Y, Z, and yeah, that is not good at all. And this time around, I was upset. I was like, I prayed about it, and I actually talked this time. I talked. I was like, just give me 10 minutes. I just really need to think about what's going on, and I talked, and I seen that, like, it has a relationship so much better because they got what they need to say off. We got to say what we say off, and now it doesn't seem like every time we talk we're having an argument, right? Because we got the argument out the way, and now we're talking about things we really want to talk about. But we waited 4 days, so granted, you thinking like, oh, it's on my mind, like, every time I see, I got to think about that. So it's 5, 4 days like that same problem in your mind. So I realized why that could be a good and bad thing, and I think it stemmed from when I was younger. I would not want to talk when I'm in trouble or with my parents or with principals. Like, I can't talk. And my parents be like, speak up, speak up, speak up. That make me not want to talk more. But I'm getting out of it. Like, hey, you need to talk, dude. Like, you're grown. Like, nobody's gonna hold your hand and be like, please talk to me. They're gonna like, all right, he's a mute. Like, we're done talking to him. Like, he's gonna get what he's get. Like, like, closed mouth don't get fed for real. Like, oh, he's not gonna speak up. He's not getting anything. So I'm just learning, like, bro, you gotta speak up, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that at 24, I feel like it's a good age to be learning communication because I'm not too young, I'm not too old, but it's like, okay, I'm in the workforce. I just graduated college. Like, this is a great time to learn communication because time is ticking, my boy. You're not a spring chicken anymore. Like, so learning, I think learning how to communicate is an essential skill for young men, young women as well, especially young men, um, to get their thoughts out in a healthy way. Because when you're yelling and you don't want to talk. Your thoughts can get misconstrued. People don't know what you're saying, and it's probably not a good time for real. So when you're learning how to properly communicate, how to properly assess what's going on in your mind, how to properly uh, um, pronunciate what you're trying to say, what you're thinking, and both parties receive it, and you're able to end a conversation on a good note. I think this is a great skill for business, family, spouse, kids, because you don't want to be like, oh, I'm a parent and I'm done talking. Like, that's not good. Um, Spouse, like, I'm done talking. I'm upset. Don't talk to me. Like, then your wife feeling away, and and then business, like, you disagree with something, like, I don't like what you said. I'm done with this deal. You messing up your money. So even like in my business, DJ book business, I will usually like not text people like the whole day. Like, I'm busy. Like, I'm not texting them, but I'm like, hey, I'm busy. I'll text you when I get home. Like, just that text, like, okay, he's busy. He's gonna text me when he get home. Like, why did he text me? Oh, he can't. He not gonna do it. Da, da, da. I'm gonna get a new DJ. And I think I can deal with that. I deal with that on the opposite end. Like, when I'm trying to get the DJ other people event, like, they're gonna stop texting. And I'm like, hey, just uh following up. Oh, I don't need you anymore. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for informing me. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, you really gotta learn how to communicate, bro. Like, times, and the older you get, I feel like it's more essential skills. The faster you learn how to communicate, the faster uh I feel like life will be. Like, I think, like, in a marriage, like, the biggest thing is communication. So really just communicate better, bro. And I feel like in my journey of communication, it was like, out of 1 out of 10, it was 0. And then I have spurts of good communication, and then to go back to 0. But I feel like now I'm a solid 8 right now. I'm a solid 8. Like, through prayer, through understanding how I did bad, and understanding how that would make someone feel, and how just because, like, oh, I'm up ready to talk doesn't mean someone else will be ready to talk 4 or 5 days later. Like, they're probably mad and don't want to talk no more, and they're probably done dealing with me. But I'm like, no, I'm ready to talk, so you should be ready to talk. Like, that's not how that work. And granted, you might not be ready to talk when someone else is talking, but you still listen. You like, well, I understand what you said, and can I please at least have like 10 minutes or 30 minutes just to see what you said, and I can get back to you. Like, okay. But 5, 4 days later, like, they're on to different things. Like, that's not how life works. People don't work in your time. Like, and you, of course, you don't work on other people's time, but it's all about respecting one another, disagree to disagree, and learning how to communicate to get to both each other goals and not just one party. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for listening. Like, I'm just, I'm still learning how to communicate. Like I said, I'm 8 out of 10. Like, I can still learn how to get better. Some days I don't want to talk, I'll be like, I'm not talking. But that's not good. So I'm learning. Whole time, stay blessed.